but I think some of her points are very relevant, and we need to talk about it. Were any of the children afraid of you?
There have been kids who didn't want to take a picture with me. You know what I mean? They made like because sometimes, well, and that's not necessarily being afraid. It's probably afraid of being left alone. Like, so if you were to take a child and say, okay, go stand next to her and take the picture, but they really want to just be closer to their parent, you know? So they just didn't want to take the picture. But there have been kids that have cried, you know, and stuff, but not necessarily afraid, like feared, like you were in fear of me, you know?
Now, just a couple of more questions around this. Now, you obviously like this storybook hour. It's gotten you sort of the attention that you want. It's giving you a little bit of the status that you want, and it's sort of made you realize that children are the key to understanding us with diversity, understanding, and you start maybe something they would be able to relate to, because a lot of times, like I said, is they think we look like clowns, whether we're either a scary clown or a friendly looking clown. Now, I know that I can tell when I've listened to one or two of your stories, and I can tell that you have a passion inside you that's real. So this is what resonates with children. And it also resonates with some family, with some families. Now, of course, there's going to be that opposition of those families that are the Christian ones, like you said, that really doesn't, they just came to see who their children, what this drag queen is all about, and what their children are actually being exposed to. Now, have you ever had any real complaints from families or parents about you?
Well, we've had some protesters at some events, you know, and that's to be expected. We haven't had a situation where they have actually entered the building. They've just, showed up outside to say that they don't agree with the program, and that's fine. They have a right to say what they don't agree with, you know. But you keep in mind that all the kids that attend any drag queen story hour are accompanied by a caretaker or a parent or someone who wants them there. You know, it's a lot different. I am not in the middle of a dark alley saying, hey kids, come here, I want to read you a story. I am in an open public setting, you know, and these kids are with their parents and we're just reading books. So it's not like a secret situation where you can't come in, oh, you can come in, oh, not you, you know, it's everyone is welcome as long as you're there with the right intentions, you know.
Okay. Now, this will be the last one on this, because I'm enjoying this part, because I think that this is what my agent really wanted me to focus on. She was like, well, I want you to do this and I want you to do this, and ask her this. So I'm going to ask you this. Are you happy with the results that you're seeing from all of the storybook hours that you're getting? Are you having an impact? Are you making a difference? Is it working? Is the storybook hour working?
I believe it is working, and I know that it's working because we started out, this started in San Francisco and it came to New York, and now it is international. We have chapters in Germany and Japan and Mexico and Sweden, you know, and all across the US. So there is a need for this, and there's a desire for this, and there's a purpose for this. And I am happy that we have a chance to help raise a new generation of open-minded individuals and people who are not afraid to express themselves. You know, that's what this is all about. It cuts down on bullying people who are different. And it also creates role models, you know, in a sense of the drag queens. You know, now we're held in a different different light. A lot of people have always said, oh, why do you need drag queens? They perform for adults, they perform in nightlife and stuff. But it shows that we too can be adaptable to a different scenery as well, and that there are other interests that we have as performers, and that is to help others and to bridge two communities that would have never been together. Drag queens and kids. We teach them. It helps to improve reading. When kids excited about reading, that's why we read to our kids stories, because we want them to be better readers. We want them to be more acquainted with reading. And that's why when we bring them to the library or a school or to a bookstore for Drag Queen Story Hour, it's the same story hour they would normally get. It's just with an added plus of having someone with a little bit more flair and style and flamboyancy.
Well, that's it. We know children like shiny things and colorful things, so they can relate to a lot of this. I think, in a sense of the colors and the shiny things, the excitement of it all. Right. Now, when you think about our community now that we're having so many civil unions and marriages, now is gay marriage legal in New Jersey and New York State?
Yes, and I am a wedding officiant, and I've done maybe 6 weddings at this point. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, and like they said before, back in the days, they didn't think gay men and women could raise children. And now we've come to this storybook hour. It just goes to show you how far we have progressed, and mainly under that religious umbrella. And we know how usually people use religion against the gay community. And the fact that, what, I take my wig off to you, Harmonica, for just the fact that you are doing it. You're doing it. And for you to know that there's crazy people outside the door and you're there reading to children, and there's this opposition outside, and the fact that you kept going without missing a beat, the fact that this is something you must do for just not for the gay community, but for people that are on the outside that might have a misunderstanding about us. For years, they thought that we were child molesters and pedophiles, and this stuff is not true. Of course, there's some knuckleheads in any group. Now, I want to just say, now you were doing some radio show the other day, or you have some big radio show that's coming up?
No
On
radio
BuzzFeed?
shows, no.
BuzzFeed?
Oh, I did a BuzzFeed video some time ago. That was in relation to a Drag Queen Story Hour as well, too. Yes.
Okay, so now you're doing virtual bingos.
I'm doing virtual everything pretty much. So virtual bingos and performances and hosting events as well. So yeah, it's been quite a transition to working from home, something that I thought I would never do as a drag performer. And it has its, advantages and disadvantages, but I am just happy to still be, working, and that people still want to book me, especially at a time like this.
Well, I want to just say you're doing great work, and don't put that torch out. Keep that torch. I watch you even when you're just as your other male pronoun and walking around Jersey telling people to get off their ass and get motivated, get doing something. And I like that. I like the fact that you just keep putting the fire underneath them to keep them moving, because mainly in this time, most people are just laying in their house, they're going through depression. And our community is very marginalized in the first place. And for us to go through something like this here just really sort of sets us back a little bit. But the fact that we have great performers like yourself that just keeps online, keeps entertaining, keeps bringing it, just keep bringing it. And this is what my agent told me. She said, get off your ass and get on that thing there and get things out there, get this going. This is the only way we're going to get this going. Let the people know you care about them. Let them know that you're here, even if you're just drinking coffee and talking to them. Do something. So I understand the value of our voices.
Hmm.
Before, I didn't understand that. I do now. And the
And
fact,
I think also too, especially right now with what we're going through, people need that connection. There's so many people that are maybe in the house going through so much on their own or don't feel like, like, okay, I don't feel safe going out, so it's great to be able to go live and just chit chat with people and have people check in because you never know who needs that companionship. Even if the numbers on the live are not huge, it's not about, it's for me, it's always been about quality, not quantity. And I
mhm,
know that when I go live, even if I'm just doing my makeup or just chewing the fat and having some coffee, I know that there will be people that come on that I don't normally get a chance to talk to on social media. And
mhm.
so we wind up having that, a conversation that we would have never had if I didn't go live. You know?
That's the good thing about this. My agent, she told me, she says, Stephanie, slow and steady. And
Mhm.
I found she's right. Slow and steady. You don't need to be viral. You don't need a million hits. Just slow and steady.
Mhm. But
Now,
we all have a beginning, so nobody starts off, Paris Hilton didn't start off with 1 million followers. It's just it took a while before people started to realize who she was. So yeah, we
mhm.
all start somewhere.
Okay, I'm going to lighten the mood for just a minute, and then we're going to wrap up shortly here because I know you're a busy woman. Now, I know Wendy Williams is from Jersey.
Yes.
And now, a few months ago, or even a year, it was almost about a year ago when they had the controversy with her about telling men to stop wearing.
Women
What are
stuff.
your thoughts on that?
Well, I've had the pleasure or the opportunity to be a guest on her radio show years ago. She was a radio hostess on WBLS, and
Mhm,
people would talk about me and my show in New York City, and and so she said she wanted to meet me, and she invited me onto the show to be a guest. And I came on and met with her, and then her career transitioned into TV, and I went to the show, and I was told by another friend of mine who lives in DC that they don't allow drag queens to go to the show. They don't let people to go and drag, and I thought that was very weird. How she says she's all for the LGBTQ community, and you have all these people from our community that are on your team that help you look your best. And why would someone not be able to go and drag? Because in reality, my idea of drag is any time that we dress up more fabulous than what we normally do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all
mhm,
those people in that show, in that audience, they're in drag because what they wore today is not what they would wear going to Walmart. It's not what
mhm,
they would wear lounging around the house. They all got dressed up, So you
mhm,
can't say like, oh, but you have a wig on. Okay, I can't be the only one in this audience with a wig on.
mhm.
I can't be the only one in here with a face full of makeup. I'm not the only one here with jewelry or nails on. So what are you getting at? I thought that she she made a big mistake by saying that and she turned a lot of people off. This is the thing, let people be who they want to be because it's not hurting you,
Mhm.
you
Well,
know.
for me, I look at it this way. If the booking people or the production company or whoever is contacting your agent or contacting you, if they're hiring Harmonica Sunbeam, that's who we need to see.
Hmm. Hmm.
We want to see the woman that is getting all of the attention. We don't want Janet Jackson to come with no makeup on and no wig on and no stuff and looking like Janet Jackson. If we're hiring Harmonica Sunbeam, that's what we want to see. And if just in case that you're a drag queen, then that's what we want to see, that drag queen. So Wendy Williams is a very strange individual, and I've said this many times. And someday, she is just lucky that she is even on TV, and and the fact that she can just, anyway, she'll learn her lesson eventually. Now, in closing, I want to say, how do we get a hold of you if we want to book you?
Oh, okay. Well, you can always reach me on Instagram at hsunbeam, or on Facebook under Harmonica Sunbeam, or through my website, theharmonicasunbeam.com. Yes, theharmonicasunbeam.com.
Well, it was great, interesting talking to you and having your take on just a few issues. Now, I just want to say it's my pleasure meeting you finally, and the fact that you're making a difference. And I like the fact that you understand what it is that you want from your career. And you understand the challenges for us as older individuals in the drag world, how we have to always be changing and stay relevant to keep working.
Mhm.
But yet, at the same time, use our voice to make sure that people respect us
Right.
and understand that we are to be respected and we have something of value to even offer to the little ones. So I want to just say thank you, Miss Harmonica Sunbeam. I know you're having a busy week. So what do you have coming up today?
I have a show I'm going to be doing. There's a fundraiser for a councilwoman, and I'm going to be performing in between speakers today. So that's a little bit later on today, but I'm also I'm decluttering.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have like 3 boxes of donations that I need to like organize and get ready because they're picking them up in the morning. So I'm like, okay, once I pull all this stuff out, I want it to go. It can't, be pulled out and then stay here for 2 weeks. It's got to go the next day. So they're coming to pick it up tomorrow. So I'm happy for that. So it'll create, some more space in here for me. And yeah, I'm just getting ready for a very peaceful Christmas week,
Mhm. Well, I just want to say this to you. I always say this to a lot of my friends at this time. I just hope everybody's reaching out to everybody during Christmas time. It's the most difficult time for our community because a lot of us don't have family and we're lonely. A lot of us need food. So that extra food that we have, we should be sharing with our neighbors and our friends and just reaching out just to see if people need a bag of groceries or just need a conversation. And I know you're good for those kind of things because I watch a lot of your stuff and you're very good for charity, and we want to say thank you. Also, I want to just wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Miss Sunbeam. It was a great time talking to you today. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it.
And we will chat again soon.
All righty. Happy holidays.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.